You're watching West Wednesday 613, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Mic check, and thank you, my queen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tonight, we're not going to have a long program. I just had some announcements, a little bit to discuss, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. No special guests tonight, but as we show you every time we're online, we show you a video, of one of the first killers that started, the brutal, heinous attack on my unarmed brother, Tyrone West. We're going to play this video, and we'll be right back. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No,
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly.
Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck.
I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it.
The profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Dad, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call the supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardez Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, thank you, my queen, for playing it and hosting tonight. And thank you for everybody that's tuning in on YouTube or Facebook or any of our media outlets. So just want to give you guys a big thank you. And yeah, I'm just pretty much we would have been out in the streets tonight, but with everything, the way the world, the things are happening in the world today, I'm really playing things by ear because it's just so much nonsense that's going on, but definitely we will be on the streets soon. So just a couple of announcements. First, I wanted to give a big shout out to Judah this past weekend, even though it was sad, that we have to come upon Freddie Gray's 10-year commemoration, but just reflecting and looking back, it was a beautiful, amazing, powerful event. And every year it seems to get better. Like each year I be thinking like, oh, it can't get no better than this because it's like amazing. And he opened up a space there for my brother's artwork. And, it was a beautiful and big shout out to the West Coalition, for putting all the artwork up, framing it, putting the words to it, just everything that the West Coalition does. I can't thank you guys enough. Everything you guys do is priceless to me. And just thinking about 613 weeks is a very long time to be doing anything. And the fact that any family, any coalition, anybody to have to fight that hard for accountability is utterly ridiculous. And it's just we're in real sad times. But again, when we pull together and support each other and show love, that is what pretty much can break this evil, and I repeat, evil cycle of abuse. And that's the system. It's getting crazy. When I thought that it couldn't get any worse, it's proven. It's reared its ugly head. And it's terrible. I look back and I reflect to, before Freddie Gray, may Freddie Gray rest in peace, may my brother rest in peace and things like that. But it's sad. It's like, we'll say rest in peace, but how can you actually rest in peace if you can't live in peace? It's like so sad and utterly disgusting. You can't even live here on earth in peace, and that's a pursuit of happiness. Everybody should be able to live in peace and not worried if you're going to get pulled over by people that's supposed to serve and protect. Yet they are pretty much murdering us and brutalizing us. And then tonight, just late breaking, this evening, around 4 o'clock, I heard on the news late breaking, it was another, I don't have any details, but all I heard that it's another police involved shooting that just happened today in the county. And that's disgusting. And that the AG's office is now looking into it. So I'm just kind of glad that the procedure is a little bit different, but it seems like we still don't have the kind of results that we need, and that's accountability. Like, we can sugarcoat it all day and all night, but at the end of the day, we deserve accountability. And without accountability, you cannot live in peace. You cannot rest in peace. It's sad and it's disgusting. And I want to give a big happy heavenly birthday to, and I was wondering why, and this just seemed like I'm so connected to spirits and things like that. spirits here now and our ancestors. And I was just talking just yesterday about Eddie Conway, and I was like in my mind, like, why is Eddie Conway on my mind? And I was sharing with somebody that I care about. I was like, he did so much work around West Wednesday, and I think I showed them a picture of Eddie, but today is his birthday, and big shout out to Red Emma's. They're there now, actively, celebrating, and thank you, Uncle Bill, for updating and giving and sharing the information. But Eddie Conway was amazing, and just looking back at this man that, he was a Black Panther. And I remember when he came home and he pretty much was incarcerated for crimes that he didn't do. And it's just sad that he literally, when he came home, I remember he made contact with me immediately. And he came out to a West Wednesday. He was like, I couldn't wait to come out. He said, I used to watch you, sister, on the news all the time. And I could not wait to come out here and support you. And it's amazing what you're doing for your brother, and I just give you props. And he used to always, like, this uncle of mine, like, he wasn't blood family, but he just reminded me of one of my uncles. And he would always come out no matter what. And then he, connected with I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry, I'm scrambling. But he used to bring the media out to West Wednesday. Anytime I need the media to come out, he would always come out and, cover West Wednesday. And Real News. It just hit me. Yeah, he would come out. He was working for Real News, and he would literally come out and support me at any West Wednesday. And it's just sad. Like, so I look back at stuff like that, and just remembering, like, when West Wednesday first happened, when my brother was first murdered, right? It was just like something that pretty much snatches your soul out your body. Literally, like, I had to start a whole new life. Like, literally, I was put on life support. I was literally put on life support, and the support that I gained from you guys supporting me and my family and my brother's children, that helped me to pretty much live my life. So that's why I say life support, because, like, literally my life had left. My life was over. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. When I got that news, that I knew, because I kept feeling it in my soul and my spirit. That's how close me and my brother was. And my big brother was always close on communication, because he said, God forbid, sister, if anything happens to me, I would want you to know it. And God forbid, if something happened to you, I would want to know immediately. And so immediately, after he bought my vehicle to go pick up an acquaintance that he barely knew, and I'm calling him, and I'm having pain in my body. I'm aching. I'm crying. I hit the floor. My family thinking I'm freaking out for no reason. I'm literally calling my oldest daughter at the time, who literally was working a McDonald's job, and she was like 16 years old. And I'm literally calling her like, "Hey, sweetie, your uncle's not coming to get you tonight. I have some sad news." She's like, "What?" I said, "Something happened to your uncle." And that's like, I would never disrupt my daughter's workplace or have her worried. And I'm telling her something that the spirit was telling me. So I said all that to say, just always follow your conscience. Always, follow your gut feeling. If you feel like something ain't right, something's not right. We could try to shake off stuff and try to make things be the way, that we want them to be. And ultimately, nah, it's that gut feeling, and I knew. And I'm telling her, I don't even know what happened to your uncle, but I know something bad happened. I'm going to have to arrange for you to catch a cab home, but he's not coming to get you, and I got to figure out where he's at. And for a mother to do that to her child and have her worried at work, like, "Oh my goodness, what happened to my uncle?" And I couldn't have any answers for her. But literally, by the time she literally had to catch a cab home, and it's so sad because as trauma hits you, I don't even remember how she got home that day. All I just remember that when the news hit me, after it was confirmed, because I was feeling pains and aches in my body that I've never felt before. And literally, I wanted to die once the truth came out. But I'm like, if God forbid something happened to me, who's going to take care of my beautiful children? And so like, but a big part of me died. Like, it was to the point I was so numb, I couldn't speak. And like for weeks, even though I was out there on the ground, I felt like a zombie. I felt like I was just breathing in my body, but I was dead. I felt like that, like it was crazy how I felt. Like I never felt that sudden pain of darkness, that sudden absence, like you living, but you breathing, but you're not here. Like all that is real. And I just say that to say that, God forbid, with things that are going on in the world, you can have so many people in your life, and then you see so many people just dying or accidents just happen. I just literally, a couple weeks ago lost a former student, baby girl, and her best friend Bailey. It's so heartbreaking. Serenity and Bailey and their uncle. My heart goes out to all three of them, their families. And it's just sad, like, nobody kept to bury their 9-year-old babies. And then, and even the uncle, like, it's just sad. So my heart goes out, and that's why, like, now I'm looking at life as to, like, a lot of things I used to push to the side, like, even like trying to have fun and, balance out things. I'd be like, oh, I'll do it the next time. And knowing, like, me looking at things and me always hopping on social media and seeing somebody that I know or grew up with or whoever passed away or something happened, I'm just to the point, I just want to enjoy my life. I want to continue on fighting this fight. I'm connected to this. This wasn't something that I signed up for. This is a club that, unfortunately, no family says, hey, I want to be a part of some sorority that nobody, pretty much believes you. You're going to be talked upon. You're going to, this thing follows you to your workplace. It follows you all around. And it's so sad. And all you're doing is the most American thing, and that's fighting for our rights. And right now we're in crucial times. Like, we're in times now that even if judges say, hey, bring this person back, that let's follow the due process of law. And we have a president to say, oh no, you know what, he's involved in a gang. We believe we're not going to bring him back. Like, going against the due process of law. And it's bad enough that Black and brown folks, and then pretty much anybody, but mainly Black and brown folks, have to, pretty much get pulled over. Anything can happen. These killer cops play judge, jury, and executioner, and don't give us our day in court. We get killed at traffic stops. We get killed for crimes that wouldn't even pretty much stick. You know what I'm saying? You get pulled over, Sandra Bland. You get pulled over. She's this powerful Black queen, this sister that's speaking around the world and talking about saving our brothers and all this kind of stuff. These target attacks. I believe that she was targeted. She went to the racist Dallas, Texas, over that way, and literally she's trying to move out the way, and she get pulled over, and then they lock out for no reason, disrespectful. We saw the video, and this is a Black queen that was outspoken and said, oh my goodness, I can't wait for my day in court. And literally, you want us to believe that she hung herself in a jail cell? And let's keep in mind, in a sundown town. Like, we have all these sundown towns, and we even have them here in Baltimore. So it is real. Racism is real. And if we allow them to pretty much tell us the narrative, this is what's going to happen. They're going to keep on committing these heinous crimes on us. And now you have a president that says, you know what? In Garcia's case, we ain't even gonna follow the law. It may be Garcia today, and I'm praying I'm saying his name correctly because I'm horrible with names. Ever since my brother got killed, names are like scrambled around in my brain. I used to be, oh my God, I used to be the perfect person to like name. Like, I used to know all my parents' names, like, from their first name to last name to middle name. And now it's just like all a blur. It's just like, it's saying like, things that, you're good at and things like that, you could just easily lose it in a blink of an eye. And I think with the trauma of me pretty much having to take my brother just got murdered. Like, for what? Like, being unarmed, being pulled over, and something that I let him drive my Mercedes Benz I had just gotten that year, and something that I thought was going to keep him safe ultimately got him targeted, pulled over, and murdered. And to this day, we still don't have accountability. To this day, we're still losing people that was in the fight. I think about our beautiful Queen Nicole Patterson. I can't even want to mess her name up, so I'm gonna stop. Nicole Patterford. But beautiful, talented sister that in between her and her husband, and her husband is the son of Anthony Anderson. And Anthony Anderson was murdered a year before my brother. So we had a queen out here fighting not only for her daughter, who she lost through community violence, she pretty much lost her father-in-law, who she said she never got a chance to meet. But this queen would be on there and literally just passed away this shit. Like, it's just too much going on. I can't keep up with it all. But what I can keep up with is we have to enjoy and embrace each day as we get it. Take nobody for granted and just enjoy yourself. Just always have integrity about you, because it seems like nobody has integrity no more anymore. Nobody is loyal. And it's just sad. Like, I'm just so amazed at like how God is shifting so much in my life. I'm like, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? But ultimately, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes old doors close just so new ones can open up. So it's hard to like embrace daily things in life, but the main thing is taking care of yourself. You can't help anybody out. You can't do anything if you cannot take care of yourself. We have to actually make sure we make it a point to do something every day that you like doing, that you get enjoyment out of, and even something that you don't get enjoyment out of, and that's helping somebody, like, being a little sad, like humbling yourself. And I've been in that humble state, Lord Jesus, biting my tongue, just like looking at people that stab me in my back. Nobody has my back. And just having to go and embrace these people and knowing talking about you, knowing they doing dirty stuff, and still humble myself, and that's a hard test. So, but with me balancing all that out, doing that, and at the same time, taking care of myself and taking care of others, making sure that at the end of the day, that if I'm blessed to go to sleep at night and able to get the reset button started for the next day. And I say the reset button is pretty much waking up, because one day you might have the worst day of your life where it seems like the whole world is on top of you. But then in that split second, you could be on top of the world. So never let a situation predict your outcome. You got to hold on. You got to keep holding on. You got to keep standing strong, and you have to keep fighting for what's right. And integrity shows up when nobody is around. You can act like whoever you want to act like, put on a facade when everybody's around, like the kid, this, that, and the third, but that's phony to me. The real integrity shows up when nobody's looking, when nobody's around. When that camera's not rolling, when people are not around, and you being in that state of mind that you're in, loving, being respectful, that's integrity. But a lot of people don't have it nowadays. Like, people are just like caught up in their own silos, because right now we're in real desperate times that it seems like the price on everything is going up. Our paycheck is getting lower. It's sad. But at the end of the day, I still believe in hope. Hope is what gives us, the pretty much the reset button to actually move forward. Because once you lose hope, then it's like, I have nothing. Once you lose hope, that's it. So just try to be hopeful and try to play your part. And let's love on each other. Like, in this world, we have enough of hate. Just love on people. You can even sometimes love on people that don't even love you. And I know it sounds crazy, And sometimes I kind of fight myself like, God, why did you make me like this? Why can't I be mean and nasty and treat people the way that they treat me? But that's just not who I am. Like anybody that knows me, and a lot of people say, oh, that's your weakness. Well, guess what? That might be my weakness to y'all, but ain't nothing weak about me. That's my spirit of God, who I am. You know, and I'm not talking for the West Coalition, because half of the folks in the West Coalition are not religious or whatever. They might be spiritual, whatever. That's their business, right? But as for Tawanda Jones, I believe in God, and that's what gives me the energy to push and go through any type of situation that I'm going through. I have to stay prayed up every single day, all day long. You know, some people, you know, drink, smoke to ease their mind. I stay in prayer. I like eat my little food, have my tea time, and eat my ice. Anybody know that about me? Anybody know me? They know that's what I do. That's my daily. But just enough for scrambling on. But I just wanted to let you guys know that we will be we're planning now, and a big shout out to my sister Dana. She's actually hooking everything up along with the West Coalition, but we're going to be doing something at our sister store, the bookstore, Tia's bookstore, that's on Greenbelt, and we're going to be there for a panel discussion in May. So it's going to be coming up, and you know, we'll pretty much announce it as we get closer to the date. And it just seemed like we just got into April. It seems like April was almost over with. It's like the time is flying. Like I felt like it just was January. And then it's like April to May, like time is flying. Time waits on no one. So that's why you have to take care of yourself and each other. It's not just about you. It's about taking care of each other, supporting each other, and doing what makes you happy, doing what takes you to the next course, because we definitely you have to balance these things out. And I have another announcement. So everybody know about, and if you don't know, I'm just going to talk real quick on that, but Sonia Massey, beautiful queen, beautiful young mom, pretty much had called her neighbors because she heard some noise and she thought it was a prowler outside of her home. And she called, the police, and they pretty much show up, come in her house, and pretty much ultimately murder her. And for somebody to be murdered and pretty much said, I just rebuke you, I rebuke you. She literally said a Bible verse, and you tell her that's a pure demon to me in hell. I literally do. But I'm praying for Sonia's Massey's family. That her father just shared with me that her trial date is scheduled for the killer of Sonia Massey is scheduled in Illinois on October the 20th, 25. So they finally secured a court date. That's October the 20th, 2025. And it was so profound that yesterday, me and my sister, we went to a spoken word event, and I loved it. The energy remind me of like when I used to go and with Uncle Bill, when he would have, his club that did all the poetry stuff at Poly and things like that. We would go over there, and the kids, they were amazing. I used to love doing that, but that's why I like to go to these things. They help me out. Like they cleanse my spirit. It makes me feel good. And I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to do stuff that make me happy. Whatever I like doing, I'm going to do it. So, but it was a lady there yesterday who shared a poem, and it was called Wood. I had no idea that this poem was dedicated to Sonia Massey. And as soon as she started talking about, I let pretty much a demon in my home or whatever, and I was bored. I was like, oh my God, she's talking about Sonia Massey. So I instantly pulled out my phone and started recording her beautiful poem. And there was a lot of poets up there. And it was one poet, too, that really struck me. And it was this guy, a Caucasian fella. Shout out to him. I can't remember his name because there was so many of them. Like they did this, they do the battle here in Baltimore, and they have different poets from, pretty much everywhere, like coming from different places around the world, coming right here to do a poet slam, and they do it every month. And I'm addicted. Like once I like something, then everybody know when I'm on something, I'm on it. But nevertheless, it was a Caucasian fella, and he was a firefighter. And he pretty much, the poem was called coward versus a hero. And pretty much he was saying, showing, and I used to always tell you guys what would happen if, firefighters who risk their life going in these fiery homes, they don't know if they're going to make it out to their family. They're seeing their life flash before their eyes, stuff is falling. That's like real immediate danger, right? And they got to pull and save babies. But what if they said, hey, I fear for my life, and they, God forbid, let a whole house, catch up in flames, and they all sitting down on the curb. What would happen to them if they said, I fear for my life? We know that they would all be fired on the spot, period. No question asked. But why is it that law enforcement officers can literally say, hey, I fear for my life, and get away with murder? Like, you have to, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day. I had to take y'all to the slave catcher. That's what they was pretty much, and that's what they still look at us as slaves, and they're capturing us, and it's just sad. And I feel sorry for the few good men and women that do take their job serious and that want to be a difference maker. I really feel sorry for them. But anybody that stand back and abuse their badge and watch somebody get beat down or murdered or anything, you are the problem. You are the problem. So with that being said, he pretty much put all this in that poem. It was so powerful. And he was just saying, we are the true heroes. But he was saying pretty much, yeah, law enforcement officers are the cowards because, they're claiming that they're so scared. Pick another profession is what he said. And I loved it. And he had it absolutely right. And if you didn't get the chance, to see my the poet slam, I shared pretty much almost all of the show except for when it got down to the last 5 in the winter because I filled up my camera, but I gave you guys all 10 of their poems. So just go back, check it out. It was all deep, meaningful, powerful. But that's pretty much all I have for you. I want to check and to see if we have any questions or comments. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Yes, we do have a few comments. Starting off with Bill. Hello, friends and comrades. We always need to rededicate ourselves to fighting racism and capitalism. West Wednesday helps us do that. Killer cops and cell blocks. And then a whole slew of mic checks from Judah, myself, Hillary, Mainism, AC Britt, and Angela. Judah commented, Tawanda, thank you so much for the kind words about Rise Be More. It was an honor to feature Tyrone's art. Thank you to Hillary for reaching out with this idea, and thank you to so many members of the West Coalition for sharing a meaningful evening with us. Ansel Jones commented, mic check. And if you don't mind, Tawanda, I just wanted to just take a note to talk about, I guess, like upcoming events in a way that's widespread, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, I wanted to give a big shout out because it was a big parade going on Saturday. I wasn't there. And shout out because they started shouting my brother's name, and my sister Latoya sent it to me. Rachel, she started shouting. Everybody, followed and they was chanting, and I was like, oh my God. And then I heard that it was not only shared on that platform, I think Murder Inc. picked it up, and a few other big media outlets had picked up them chanting justice for Tyrone West. So love you guys. And I wasn't even there because everybody knew I had to be to Judah's event, and then I even missed my poor baby's balloon release, but she has an upcoming memorial service that I will be in attendance to. So that's why I was like, okay, weighing the time because everything was pushing so out to the park to support Serenity's family and things of that nature. I definitely wouldn't have been on time for Judah's event. Baltimore Rise event, and so yeah, and I definitely wanted to be there while they were sharing my brother seeing the powerful panel and just everything that took place. It was definitely amazing. So yeah, but go ahead, my queen.
Yes, and before my announcements, I did miss one more comment. This one from Hillary. Tawanda, your integrity holds strong for sure. Thank you for all you do and for pushing love and care.
Thank you, Hillary.
Yes, definitely a lot of sweet sentiments tonight, just what we need. I really liked really the message that you were talking about, referring to the man's poem on cowards and actual heroes, people who are actually brave and sticking up for those in the face of danger. Um, Not fully in the same vein, but just with, of course, the times that we're in, the very rampant attacks on people, in their own communities, people fearing for their lives every day, even more so in the midst of trying to make it day to day. For those who don't know, the workers' holiday called May Day, which is largely celebrated on May 1st, but really continues worldwide, throughout the month, is coming up. And I just wanted to shout out this one coalition-based one happening here in Baltimore on May 1st on Thursday. That'll be next week. It's got the slogan "Stop the Billionaire Takeover," and it's going to have 5 separate contingency marches that will all meet at the McKeldin Plaza for the main rally. So, if possible, we can probably share that so people can see the different areas that have various actions going on. I see that there's one regarding Palestine, another one that's justice for migrants, justice for workers as well, and also justice for families and kids. So I feel like that would be a great thing for those who, again, want to be active, make their voices heard, and show their solidarity for various causes. That's happening next Thursday on May 1st.
Awesome. Yes, shout out. And I'll be there in spirits. And I thank Uncle Bill for sharing my speech at the May Day dinner. Sorry I couldn't make it. Like I said, I'll be here and there. Y'all be trying. So I appreciate you guys working with me. And I have another special announcement. So my sister Latoya, that's Xavier's mom. She just sent me the amazing flyer, and I'll be sharing it because, the West Coalition definitely endorsed her event that's coming up. It's going to be on May the 12th in DC. I'm praying that I can make it there, but she already said if I can't make it there, because unfortunately that's a Monday, it's a work day, and then I know how traffic and stuff like that be, but it's going to be in DC, but it's pretty much celebrating their 100th episode. That is amazing. And when I say she has been literally fighting for accountability for her baby Xavier. Like, I'm talking about fighting nonstop. Like, no mother should have to bury her only child for police misconduct, police abuse, police terrorism. No mother should have to go through that pain, that horrible pain to have a handsome young man that had his whole entire life snatched away in a blink of an eye. And that's my whole thing why I just don't fight for my big elder brother, Tyrone West. I fight for all my brothers and sisters. I fight for my children. I fight for my granddaughter, my future grandkids that I ain't even have yet. I'm fighting for everybody. Like, we should not have to fear getting pulled over for a traffic stop or having a home invasion set upon us, people coming in our safe space. Like, where are you safe from these damn killer cop and racist people? Where are you safe? You're not even safe in our homes. We're not safe in the streets. We're not in our schools. Where are we safe? And that's sad. Like, everybody ultimately have to ask that question, and that's why we have to keep us safe. And then just looking at everything that's going on with this capitalist system, how all these sponsors that were like sponsoring like dollars and things like that are withholding money, grants and all type of stuff, holding money. Now we have to sponsor and support ourselves. We are in trying times. And that's what I loved about the event that I went to yesterday, because all their sponsors pulled out on them, left them slam hanging. And it's just so sad how this capitalist system works. It's based upon racism, based upon our blood. That's why I say knock it down and build it back up.
There you go.
That's why I love when I would go to New York and be a part of the May Day event and get on that mic, because that's so like true about this capitalist system. Like, it's just terrible. It's nobody, like, it's sad that material things in this America means more, is more valuable than a life. Like a life is priceless, but you put more. That's why I always say it's not about the income, it's about the outcome. And that's why I said you never sell your soul, because your soul is priceless. That's why they hate me. That's why I'm getting blackballed, because I have character, right? Nobody's gonna get me to sell my soul. Nobody's gonna get me to throw nobody under the bus. That's not how I roll. Anybody, if I die today or tomorrow, God forbid, that's what's going to speak for me. If nothing else don't speak for me, nobody will never be able to say, this lady crossed them, I did something wrong to them, I put them in harm's way, I sold them out, I sold my soul. We'll never do that. Our souls are priceless. I will never sell my soul, my brother's soul, none of us. I will never sell a soul, even though they'll sell you out now. Heartbeat. And for me to look at people that I had they backs and they all put the knife in me, that's some hurting stuff. And I gotta live and look at these people every day, knowing every last one of them, one by one, threw me under the bus. And I've never ever threw them under the bus. That's real hurtful. But at the same time, that gives me prayer, because just like my brother, and I always say my brother say, he say, sis, I look at you like God. I never compare myself to God. I only walked in His image and His likeness, right? But he always says, sis, I adore you, Lord sister. He was like, you so pure, you so clean. I love you, sis. I love you, sis. And about my character, and that's what I will never, ever, even the people that should be thrown under the bus, I will never throw them under the bus. I will never do to them what they did to me. But again, I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. I just wish whatever you're doing out here to people, you get that back. You get double for your trouble. So if you up there throwing people under the bus, I hope, man, hey, let them throw you under the bus, rolling on top of your head, roll you on, slide you, guide you, all that. You know what I'm saying? If you living in love and peace, let you get all that love and peace and love up on all that back. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish you karma. That's what I wish. You know, so with that being said, again, I just ask everybody to take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself, because we're in trying times. Certain situations can really break you, and certain situations can make you. And it's like you never know when you're going to get attacked. Like you could be having the best day ever, and then somebody pull you up or call you with some foolishness, or you see something that'll just knock you off course. You're like, oh my goodness, why did this happen? You just got to stay focused on love. Stay focused on love. And I always think about, even in my darkest hours, I think about the babies. I love children, right? I love being a difference maker. It don't pay much, but looking and knowing that I'm making a difference in some child life, knowing that I'm going to be that teacher that they always going to remember, right? I don't care if they don't remember my name, they're going to remember my spirit. They're going to remember what I poured to them, because as I'm getting older, I still can't remember like certain teachers' name, but I remember the love that certain ones poured in me, and I remember the ones, and I can't even remember their names, but I remember, the ones that didn't do so good. Because just like with everything, in everything you got good and you got bad. That's why I say you can't wash up a whole people for the bad ones, right? So that's why I always say, I'm not anti-police. I'm anti-police with time. It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, just be great. Just be great. Do what you gotta do. Let's take care of each other, because this is in a time that you have to, by all means, take care of each other. Like, you have to go back to the Bible days where you get this one loaf of bread or this slice of bread, and you might guys break that slice of bread and share it with your whole community to make sure that they eat. You know what I'm saying? You have to, and that's just the type of heart I have. I can't help who God created me to be, but this is who I am. Love, like, hate me, whatever. This is who you're going to get. I'm never going to switch up. I'm never going to let my problems follow me nowhere and treat people bad because I'm going through that. I hate when people be like, oh, I just was having a roughed up day, so you mess up my day because you're having a bad day. I'm not one of those types. You will, even if you know that I'm not like the glowing, bubbly me, but you will never be feeling the pain that I might be feeling in that day or whatever. I just feel like, hey, I might be quiet, and I even apologize in advance. I'm like, look, I might not be able to give you the best of me today because I'm really going through something mentally, trying to get my mark together, so I apologize in advance for me not being the nice me or the smiley, bubbly me or whatever. But, I'm going to do my best to try to pretty much make sure you don't feel me being in a negative attitude, nasty mood. Because, it's nobody's problem that you're having a bad day. Or it might be whoever that messed up your day, but you shouldn't mess up everybody's day because somebody messed up your day. Everybody shouldn't feel that you having a messed up day and you mess up everybody's day. But they say hurt people. Happy people make happy people happier. So it's just saying even when I'm hurting, I try to make people happy the best I can. So with that being said, I heard we don't have a list of police brutality victims, and we get these, like I said, lists every week, and they haven't updated it yet. And I'm just going to be scared and sad that once they do update it, I think it's going to be over 40 or 50 names. Especially in the route name I'm taking, I really think it's going to be like, wow. And I'm praying for the people that was involved in the police shooting. I don't know if they survived or not or what happened, but it was something that's going on that the AG's office is actively looking into right now. So, yeah, but I was wondering, do we have the community violence list tonight, anybody? Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, awesome, Brian. So do anybody want to add to the question before I read our mission statement and we go on? Mic check.
Mic check. Yes, in addition to the other point about the May Day celebration in Baltimore and the fact that it will be a month long of celebrations around the world, the organization that I and Bill are specifically a part of, Progressive Labor Party, will have our own local one that will be at a comrade's house in College Park 2 days after the big contingency rally that will be happening in Baltimore. That will be on Saturday, May 3rd, I believe. Yes. So that'll be a more radical, revolutionary, communist-based celebration of May Day, and talking about the work that various people are doing, especially within the party, trying to fight back against these rather fascist attacks that are happening now on workers, not just within the U.S. and within our communities, but around the world. So just adding to the fight back that we're all trying to do to get rid of police brutality, sexist attacks on those in the transgender community, and attacks on workers in our safety. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you for saying that, Kalia. And again, that's why I love, as we are different groups, we all still pull together for one fight because I'm not a communist. Lots of folks in West Coalition isn't, but at the same time, we know that fight is needed. It's this racist system just needs to be devoured, so just wanted to say that. And then I also wanted to know again, before I read the mission statement, would anybody like to add or say anything before I read the mission statement and we can go on with the sad list? Because I know Clear has to leave. Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, I'll just mention that just before we began West Wednesday tonight, I was at the 79th celebration of Eddie Conway's birthday, and it was a wonderful event. Very, very friendly community of people, and the program was just getting underway with a lot of stories, and it was necessary for me to come so I could help out with West Wednesday, but it was, and it went on. I'm sure it may still be a very good celebration of the life and work of Eddie Conway. Mic check.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for reiterating that, because I was just telling them that you said that earlier, and thank you so much for letting me know. And that's why I was saying that, when we first came doing, I was wondering why, I kept thinking about our brother Eddie, and so I'm glad you were there. As I mentioned, I'm so glad that you were there to take part in it, and I wish I could have been there. I didn't even know anything about it, but again, I'm just glad that you were there and able to share and, express the love. So, okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to go directly into our mission statement, and then we can pretty much send our prayers if you pray, or if you don't pray, send nothing but positive energy to the names that Brother Brian's going to read tonight. So I'm going to start off with our mission statement. It is the mission of the West Coalition to work for accountability for Tyrone West and all the victims of police brutality. We believe that there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police can use de-escalation strategies situations without necessarily using force. And we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. And I'll say that again. We encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about the families impacted by police brutality and community violence. We seek to lift their names, loved ones, from a place of respect and care. We obtained these lists of those shot and killed by the police and those lost to the community on national and local news outlets. We have no other, information or details surrounding any of these cases or the people involved. So again, I'll ask everybody to, if you pray, you can say a prayer at a time. Now is 7:54. I will pretty much let us take 1 minute, and then Brother Brian will come back with the community violence list. Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. The time now is 7:55. We know that a minute is not long enough, but even though we take 1 minute, right? But we're really taking every day, every second, just to keep in mind that community violence or police brutality isn't right. That's like a lifetime thing that will always keep people in prayers and thoughts. And again, it's always good to that even though we have different beliefs, different religions, some of us are not even believers of God. Some of us are communists, but we're not all communists. Like we're not connected to one party. The West Coalition is just that, but we have different people that support, and I just love the love. So again, love you guys, and thank you, Kalia, for tonight. And whenever you need to hop up, you feel free. And it's all yours, Brother Brian. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Thank you, Tawanda. This week we only have one name, which is which is good. It's not what it could be, but it's good. And that is one person who had family, friends, co-workers, so many things, so many links to their community. And all those people are hurting. And so we lift them up to support those people in their grief, to stand in solidarity with this brother who died through violence and too soon, and for ourselves to remind us why we do this work, to keep it always in front of our faces, that violence is in this society, in this culture, and it destroys people, and police violence is the cutting edge, and it's unpunished, and it's horrible, but for the victim, it's just more violence. And so I'd ask you to take a moment and echo back to me the name of our one victim this week, Carmel McGill, age 18.
Carmel McGill, age 18.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Brown, for sharing that. That's so sad. Prayers, heart, love, all that goes out to the family. So sorry. So deep. So remember, guys, like I started off by saying, please take care of yourself. And most importantly, let's take care of each other. That's why it's so important, no matter what background you come from, no matter what religion or belief that you may have or uphold, we all need to pull together. It does not matter what religion, background, party, or anything that you partake in. We all need to fight this thing together as we've been doing it, but we need more people to pull together. These are the times that we need nothing but love and support. Again, I told you that day on July the 18th, when a big part of me died and I was placed on life support, the support of you guys, support of strangers, the support of people in my family, support of people that wasn't my family, that's what saved my life. Right now, we are in a state of emergency and we can't heal that with a Band-Aid. We have to come together, connect, and stop these gaping, bleeding wounds because people are hurting right now. And if we keep on letting, it doesn't matter who's in office, if we keep on letting people just pretty much not even go through a due process of law, it's that man today or this person today, and it could easily be you, and it will be you, it will be us if we sit by and don't do nothing. If we sit by and don't let people uphold the law, the due process of the law, they can say anybody, they can go and snatch me and take me back to Africa and drop me off and start the segregation thing that my family, my ancestors, and my people fought hard as hell and still fighting. That fight ain't in. That fight ain't in 100+ years ago. It's still happening. And I'll be damned if we're going to go back. We came too far to go back. But what leads us is love. Live to love, love to live. I love you all, and we will see you next week. Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life. And Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why would you do that? Why would you do
that? Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, When will Baltimore City State's Attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.